One of the greatest strengths of RPGs is the sheer amount of variety in gameplay a single title will have. You want to play cards? We got plenty of options. Racing's more your speed? Got you covered. Trying to go full Ahab and find a legendary fish in some random river? Yeah, you get the gist at this point. When you think of RPG gameplay though, the first thing that probably comes to mind is combat. Roughly half of your time playing any given RPG will be in battles, big or small, and even the most inconsequential fight needs a dedicated track of music to accompany it. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're just going to be focusing on standard battle themes for this video, for a couple different reasons. First, if I were trying to account for every type of battle, like bosses or unique encounters, I'd fry my brain and this video would become way too long, and I already learned my lesson on that one. Also, if a game has more than one theme for any reason, we're going to stick with the main one. I'm sorry, Versus Driver, I still love you. Second, I think that standard battle themes have their own specific purpose they need to fulfill, and along with that, their own qualities they need to have to elevate themselves into something great. There are 3 traits that all of my favorite themes have that we'll break down and try to discuss. To begin, a good battle theme needs to start strong and make a good impression right away. 1 second, you're minding your business, walking through a field. The next, you're fighting to the death with the local wildlife. The transitions into the start of the encounter will sometimes blend with the first few seconds of the battle theme. The Pokemon games are masters at this. Wow, what a beautiful day to take a oh god, what's happening? I'm scared. With how quickly battles can end in RPGs, you can't waste time in getting the player amped up. Take Isaac's battle theme from Golden Sun, for example. It starts with frantic, dissonant arpeggiation for a couple seconds to build tension before leading right into the main melody. The drums drive the piece forward with the accompanying bass in a way that you can't help but tap your foot along to. The game's soundtrack is by Motoi Sakuraba, a name that you better get used to hearing, since this man is like the John Williams of RPG soundtracks. He made this with the GBA sound chip somehow. Another good example is Xenoblade 2's battle theme. A guitar wail right at the beginning sets the mood, the crash of the drums and cymbals set the pace, and the piano and strings add their own rhythmic layer to the mix, all within the first 10 seconds. Xenoblade 2 has a stacked lineup with a bunch of amazing composers, and this piece was made by Kenji Hiramatsu. These 2 themes let you know what they're about and what the player is about to get themselves into straight away. But what about when it's done wrong? Now, before I say what I am about to say, I just want to make it very clear that I love Persona 4. It's my favorite game in the series, and it holds a very special place in my heart for many reasons. Shoji Meguro is one of my favorite video game composers ever. That being said, Reach Out to the Truth as it's presented in game is not good at all. My biggest gripe with it is the fact that it starts immediately on the chorus, the most melodically boring part of the song. The build-up and progression feels non-existent, the vocals jump between the same 2 notes over and over, it's just so dull. And the part that bugs me the most is that there's a better version of this song already used in the game. The first battle version of Reach Out to the Truth opens with a sick-as-hell guitar solo before the drums and electric organ join in, all building towards the first verse. These 45 seconds that are missing from the regular version of the theme don't magically make it a great song, but I think they certainly make it better. Anyway, that's enough of this tangent. Let's talk more about good music. The second part to a good battle theme is a clear climax that's built up to quickly and believably. Again, battles can be quick in RPGs, so even with a strong introduction, you can't waste time getting to the best part. My go-to example for this is Blinded by Light from Final Fantasy XIII. It starts subtly, almost apprehensively. Instruments fade in and out at first, then start to grow louder and more confident as the brass and other sections join in. Then, 30 seconds in, this happens. This violin solo makes me feel like I can take on the universe itself, when I'm actually just taking on these doofuses. Masashi Hamauzu has a way of bottling up that sensation of fantastic wonder and putting it into the music he creates. Another good example of this is Get Over the Barrier from Trails to Zero. This track is determination given sonic form. The rocking clap of percussion, the triumphant strings leading the way. Before it starts to transform about 45 seconds in. Anticipation starts to build, and the way it hangs on to dissonance just before it fully transitions makes it feel like the music itself is asking the player, "Are you ready?" before slamming on the gas. Many titans of video game soundtracks have been a part of Falcom's sound team through the years, and this piece's creator, Saki Momiyama, is no different. It was hard to pick just one battle theme from the Trails games to highlight. They're all just that damn good. The buildup and release of tension in a battle theme is sort of like the glue that holds everything together. It gives them the intensity and power they need to instill a sense of urgency and action in the player. The third and final aspect of a good battle theme is a bit more abstract and difficult to explain, but I'm going to try anyway. It needs to balance the line between being catchy enough to be memorable, but not so simple that it becomes boring. Some of you are probably thinking, that doesn't make any sense at all. The best battle themes should keep you invested in the gameplay, whether it's your 10th battle or your 10,000th. How can that be done, though? To illustrate this, I want to offer up what I believe are the two pieces of music that set the standard for every RPG that came after. Chrono Trigger is a legendary game, and its battle theme is just the same. Slap and bass solo to start. An ethereal MIDI choir that builds into the main synth melody. With the xylophone running counter to it. Before looping back to the start. Every segment of the piece, beginning, middle, and end, I can remember distinctly, and it never gets old. Not a single moment feels stagnant or boring. even though it takes less than a minute for it to loop, it doesn't feel short or uninteresting at all because of how strong each smaller part of the whole is. Yasunori Mitsuda is an icon of video game composition today, most recently working on the Xenoblade Chronicles games. But his work on Chrono Trigger was actually his first time composing professionally. Not only that, but he had to threaten leaving his job at Squaresoft as a sound designer to even be given the opportunity. The man made the first 10 out of 10 battle theme among numerous other masterpieces after telling his boss to kick rocks. I have nothing but the utmost respect for that. The second example is Those Who Fight from Final Fantasy VII. It comes out of the gate swinging, every note aggressively driving the piece forward. The melody goes up, down, and all around, but always finds its way home when the tension needs to build. Industrial pipes seem to gasp for breath in between the strings, brass, and drums as they continue to grow in strength. This all culminates at about a minute in when the majority of instruments drop back to let the flute lead the way to the end of the piece and the beginning of the next loop. This is one of Nobuo Uematsu's greatest strengths as a composer. He can dance the line between soft anticipation and bombastic exclamation effortlessly, without a single beat being wasted. There's no such thing as a boring part to anything he writes. These are two of the most iconic battle themes ever. I will stand behind that statement 100%. But, I don't think I can say either of these are my personal favorite. So, to wrap up today's video, I want to take a minute and just yap about what I believe is the best RPG battle theme ever created. The steady tap of the hi-hat and piano chords lead the piece. Violins begin to make their entrance with a crescendo, and the crash of the drums let the listener know that it's time to fight. This is the battle theme from Xenoblade 2's DLC expansion, Torna, the Golden Country. When I listen to this piece, it makes me feel like I'm sledding down a huge snowy hill. I really hope that makes sense, because I can't think of any better way to describe the sensation this music creates. It's bright, it's fun, it's cool as hell. Just listen to what I'd call the chorus of the track. Then, 3 minutes in, you get this crazy improv segment between the piano, bass, and drums that makes me want to shout, "You're damn right, I like jazz." It's easily the best part. There will never ever be another battle theme like Torna's. That's why it has the distinct honor of being my favorite battle theme to listen to outside of the game. There's one important thing holding this back from being my favorite battle theme, period, and it's unfortunately a recurring problem throughout the Xenoblade series. You're pretty much never going to hear the best parts of the theme during regular gameplay. In the time that it takes the music to get to that improv part I was just talking about, you could get through a couple battles start to finish. Even if we exclude that, the chorus segment I mentioned before has more energy behind it the second time around, which is still 2 minutes in. It is an amazing piece, and easily one of the best to come out of a series with countless amazing pieces. But it's not the best battle theme. This is the best battle theme. They're in the thumbnail. Of course it was Rude Buster. Immediate strong impression with the intro? Funky keyboard solo checks that one off the list. Build up to a clear climax point? Layering the melody on top of the aforementioned funky keyboard solo until we arrive at a guitar solo about 50 seconds in gets the job done. Treading the line between catchy and boring? I've been listening to it for over an hour straight while I write this, and still find myself dancing in my seat, totally engrossed in the music. What Toby Fox has done here is nothing short of a masterpiece, and I mean that totally sincerely. It's the perfect tone, length, and energy for the battles you face in Deltarune. There's not a single thing about it I think needs changed or executed differently. From the moment a fight starts and you hear that sound effect as everyone draws their weapons, you're experiencing the very best of what video games have to offer. So yeah, this was just a quick little something I wanted to get out there in between my last video and my next one. Which, if you made it to the end, I'll just tell you what it's going to be about. We're finally talking about Void Stranger. I've teased it enough already. I think it's finally time to try and tell you all just what exactly this game is. I know there are plenty of amazing battle themes I didn't get a chance to talk about here, so please feel free to post some of your favorites down in the comments. For all I know, there could be some random licensed SNES RPG out there that had the Fallen Brothers working on it. But anyway, thanks for watching.